Well, people in Sorrento Valley returned home overnight after this fast-moving brush fire threatened thousands of homes. It's time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. And this morning, crews are still on the scene monitoring those hot spots. The fire burned 90 acres. It's now 40% contained. The good thing here is that all evacuation orders have been lifted. ABC 10 News anchor Gabe Salazar joining us live from the Torrey Hills neighborhood on Ocean Air Drive. And Gabe, it is a much different scene now from when you first brought us that coverage on Monday.
Yeah, Mel and Jared, so we are here in one of those neighborhoods that were under the level 3 evacuation orders. Just one of several thousand homes that were evacuated, and over 6,000 homes were in the other level of evacuation orders. And you can see here the remnants of those FOSS checks yesterday from the fire retardant that these air support crews were dropping. You can see it here on the mailbox and here on the ground. And I want to just show you the proximity of where these homes are in relation to the canyon. So these homes here that you see are just inches away from the canyon here that crews were actively working on. If we can pan over this way, you can see we're going to walk here. This is where our reporter Ryan Hill was yesterday, and you can see where crews have made a path here, and also you can see some of the areas where they dropped the fire retardants. So several crews are still mopping up some spot fires this morning in the other edge of the canyon, but this was really a wake-up call for several residents after the fires. They need to wonder if they can actually rebuild if the fire were to ever reach their homes. So after the fire comes the financial burdens and also the concerns of flooding, because whenever we have a brush fire like this one, this is on a hill, so there is a concern if it were to rain afterwards, if it would flood areas that are in the southern edge of this canyon. So this is where we're at right now. The evacuation orders have been lifted, allowing these residents to return back to their homes. Mel and Jared.
Yeah, Gabe, good thing everyone was safe there. And in Oceanside, there was this fire here, 3.5 acres. It also forced evacuations yesterday. This one started just before 11 a.m., burning near the airport along the San Luis Rey riverbed. During the fire, the San Diego Humane Society quickly had to evacuate 116 animals from its Airport Road campus. The fire burned several RVs and a storage yard. All evacuation orders were lifted Monday afternoon, and this fire has been contained.
It's a final day to figure all this out, and these proposals, they could restore a lot of the funding for these programs, but again, that money has to come from somewhere else. The Arts and Cultural Plan restores nearly all of its funding, about $10 million in total, and the plan included $3 million from the Prebys Foundation, matching the city's investments in the arts community. Then $1.3 million in grant programs would also be restored. Then lastly, the city would transfer $6 million from the hotel tax that was supposed to be used for the convention center. Then for libraries and rec centers, there's a controversial plan to bring funding back by canceling a $2 million contract for automated license plate readers. The cameras, they received a lot of pushback from people because of surveillance and privacy concerns, but San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall calls them one of the most important tools for the department, especially as they face staffing shortages. City Council, as we just mentioned, they're going to have to hammer these out in today's meeting to give time for any potential vetoes from Mayor Gloria, and that meeting starts at 1 p.m. For ABC 10 News, Madam Campos.
Overnight, a U.S. Army helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz, adding to already high tensions in the Middle East. President Trump says the pilots are okay, but the cause of the crash is still under investigation. Trump insists the U.S. is close to a peace deal with Iran after the country traded airstrikes with Israel over the weekend.
They were going back and forth, and now they both agreed through me to stop. And we're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal that will not allow in any way, shape, or form nuclear weapons, etc. And the strait will open up right away. It'll open up immediately upon signing, which could be in 2 or 3 days.
And once a peace deal is reached, Trump says the U.S. will be involved in rebuilding Iran's infrastructure and could, he says, get half their oil.
Let's go ahead and check in on the governor's race. Republican Steve Hilton holding on to his second place spot. Hilton is at 25.1%. Democrat Tom Steyer is in third right now, currently at 22.4%. Second place finisher will face Democrat Javier Becerra, who already is advancing to November's general election. And the race for San Diego City Council District 4, that one remains pretty tight. Incumbent Henry Foster III leads Martha Abraham by just 13 votes. About 40,000 ballots still remain outstanding. Just to the north of us, in the closely watched race for LA Mayor, Nithya Raman is advancing to the runoff election over former reality star Spencer Pratt. In recent days, Raman steadily made gains over Pratt's initial lead over her on election night. President Trump is now making claims of fraud, citing how long it's taking to count the ballots, making those claims without any evidence. Raman, a city council member, will face incumbent Karen Bass in November.
Game 3 of the NBA Finals is in the book. The president watched from Madison Square Garden, making him the first sitting U.S. president to attend an NBA Championship Series game. And since he was in the crowd, security was tight. Fans had to line up for hours to get inside. The game was tight also. The Spurs held off the Knicks 115-111. That snaps New York's 13-game playoff winning streak. The Knicks, though, still lead the series 2-1. Game 4 is Wednesday night. That was a fun game to watch. That's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.